Hello everyone, welcome to this special episode on Secrets of Mars World, the Big Bang and the Beyond. This special episode is part of this ongoing series under the banner The Cosmic Dynamics, promoted by Surekha Koya and myself. My name is Sainu Pamidgantam. So in this special episode, we will explore the events that unfolded in Mars world and what led to the end of the world in Mars. So this is based on the information present in the ancient scripture known as Lalitha Sahasranamam that describes the 1,000 forms of energy of Universal Mother. Not only the energy forms this scripture describes, but also vivid description of the chronology of events that unfolded in Mars world. The event of Big Bang, formation of Earth, and up to the 13 generations in planet Earth. So this scripture is perhaps one of its kind in describing the history of time with highest precision and accuracy. This scripture contains information on geography, the lifestyle of our ancestors, the environmental, medical, so many aspects it covers. In addition to act as a in addition of being the energy propagator, at the same time it describes so many aspects, different aspects of our ancestors and about the hidden secrets in universe. The 1,000 names or namas or energy forms of Lalitha Sahasranama unearths the historical milestones of this universe. So one such milestone is the 232nd Nama, the energy entity known as Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini. The blackout resulting from intense magnetic storm from Jupiter triggering end of the world in Mars and subsequent onset of the Big Bang. So as per the Lalitha Sahasranama scripture, the formation of Earth happened on 240th Nama, or the energy entity, which is post Big Bang event. Hence the event that are described in Lalitha Sahasranama up to the 232nd Nama, which is Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini. So up to that means from the first Nama till 232nd Nama, second Nama, whatever events that unfolded must have happened in Mars. So they belong to the Mars world. So that describes the events that unfolded in Mars. So in this context, there are so many hypothetical questions that arise. So what are the evidences that life did exist in Mars? Was the Big Bang coincided with termination of Mars world and simultaneous formation of planet Earth, or was there a transit time in between? Why did this Big Bang happen? Why did the Mars world got terminated? Was there a shadow effect of Mars on Earth? Did the souls that took bodies in Mars, the world of Mars, did they reappear onto Earth? So was there a connection? So these are the questions, valid questions that so we try to find answers to some of these questions, if not all, through this finding of Lalitha Sahasranama. Let us first run through the events in Mars world and then we'll try to address the questions. The three rules of the Universal Mother, through which the Universal Mother provided unconditional nourishment towards saturation of the individuals, transform these individuals to lion or lioness status. So this is evident from the first sloka of Lalita Sahasranama, Sri Mata Sri Maharagni Srimat Simhasaneswari. So the three rules, so let us first address these three rules. The three rules are: the positive energy always balances the negative energy. Positive energy means a constructive activity, negative energy means destruction. So the extent of positive energy is always in balance with the extent of negative energy. So effectively it is neutral. And the universe has to be neutral. So there should not be excess positive, there should not be excess negative in this universe. So that's the outcome of rule number 1. Rule number 2 is, so if we seek one fruit from Universal Mother, we get 10, 100 or 1000 or even 1 lakh, 100,000. And it's based on our power of intent or that is known as Sankalpa Bala. Lastly, our growth in positive direction or negative direction, that is in the matched state or mismatched state, is determined by our own power of intent or willpower, or that is Sankalpa Bala. So these are the three rules that Universal Mother Nature in Mars world followed and administered this nourishment through these three rules to the human population, not only human population, to entire living beings on planet Earth. So as a matter of fact, these three rules are even applicable even today in the current world. So here the lion, what are the qualities of lion? What are the characteristics of a lion? Lion exhibits absolute freedom and contentment and satisfaction. Always in that state. So that is a sign of a saturation. So therefore it seems lions that are existing today on planet Earth, they were having human forms in Mars. So this is evident from Sri Mata Sri Maharagni Srimat Simhasaneswari. Simha means lion. So the nourishment of Universal Mother transformed the humans in Mars into a state of absolute freedom, fearlessness, like lion. So the lions that existed today, they were having human forms in Mars. So the establishment of the dharma was followed in Mars. This was evident from the sloka Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta Devakarya Samudyata. So dharma means entity that is changing in time and space, a change, individual or a, or a virtue change, seeking change in time and space. That is dharma. So, as an example, the river exhibits dharma. That means it changes in time and space till it unites or reunites with the ocean or sea, which is unchanging in time and space. So what is changing in time and space, which is dharma? So the midpoint, the anchoring mechanism to dharma is the unchanging nature, which is satya, or truth. So this is being followed in Mars, is evident from this sloka. So it seems that the human faculties of intellect, discretion, personality, and mind were formed in Mars to practice this dharma. The illusion or Maya effects encountered in Mars are much greater compared to the same in what we encountered on Earth. So this was also evident from Ragaswarupa Pasadhya, Krodhakara Ankusojvala. Raga means body illusion effects. It is mine, these are mine, I am yours. So this is a body illusion effect. And Raga Dvesha generates egoism, the feeling of selfishness, etc., etc. So Raga Dvesha are mirror images of the blood relation, excessive blood relation, and the body fat. Okay, so these are some of the effects that Martians have encountered in Mars world, and these effects are still existing today in Earth, on planet Earth. The world of Mars did not have flower plants nor gemstones that are found on planet Earth. So this was evident from. However, the humans that inhabited Mars, they exhibited fragrance of flowers, the radiance of gemstones. So this was evident from Champaka Soga Purnaga Saugandhikala Satkacha and Kurvindamani Sreni Kanatkoti Ramandita. From these slokas, one can draw the conclusion that the Martians had the fragrance of flowers and exhibited the radiance of gemstones. And they had this ability to draw strength from moon and exhibited the moon effects to their face. So this was also evident from sloka Mukhachandra Kalankava Mugnabi Viseshaka. There were no fish in Mars, the world of Mars, but the people in Mars world, they did exhibit the characteristics of fish through their eyes. That means they possessed an attractive eyesight and eyes, just like fish in the water. So that is, this was evident from Vakta Lakshmi Parivaha Chalanmina Bhalochana. So they had, the humans that inhabited Mars, they had a very orderly bodily features that are precise and to the scale. This was evident from Navachampaka Pushpaba Nasadanda Virajita Tara Kanti Tiraskari Nasa Bharana Bahasra Mukhachandra Kalam Kabha Mugna Viseshaka. to Navachampaka Pushpavan Asadanda Virajita. So, from this sloka, it is evident that the Martians had a very sharp features, very orderly features, and features that are to the scale, that are precise. There was no disorder in their body, in the body acquirement. So that indicates that the souls that assumed body in Mars, they are evolved souls. So the acoustics of the speech of Martians had about 32 characteristics in their acoustics, in their speech. So this is evident from Siddha Vijjankura Kara Dvijapangti Dvayojvala. So that means they had this ability to alter the dynamics of the acoustics, and they had the ability to maneuver the speech. They can exhibit various qualities with their speech. So they are very vocal, it seems. They had a very content life and saturated lifestyle. Furthermore, they had expertise in fine arts. So this was evident from Nijasallapa Madhurya Vinipatsi Takachapi. The Martians nurtured the future generation by following the principles of Kama Sutra, and that means they did practice the Kama Sutra. So this was evident from several slokas. One such sloka is Kamesa Baddhamangalya Sutra Sobhita Kandara. The newborn babies, the souls that acquired the bodies in Mars, the souls that acquired the body in Mars, they had the absolute choice to choose positive, negative, or neutral energy based on their own criteria. So, regardless of the choice of the energy that is chosen by the souls acquiring the bodies, they were given unconditional nourishment. And this was evident from Ratnagraiveya Chinta Kalora Mukta Phalanvita. The Martians, they had unique characteristics. They had radiance or light radiating outward, emanating from all parts of their body, including nails. This is an amazing finding, and this is evident from Nakadhiditi Sanjana Namajjana Tamoguna. So this means that the humans that inhabited Mars, so they may not have the blood. Instead, they are filled with, or the majority of the humans did not have the blood. So instead, they are filled with the light or radiance within their body. This explains their saturation and contentment. That means the proper use of their the evolved state. Also, this explains the mishandling or the mismatch or the misuse, that is the disillusionment and drifting away from the orderly circle. So it has both effects. To this effect, the early ancestors, our ancestors on planet Earth, as per the ancient scriptures of Ramayana and Bharata, so some of those individuals that that were being described in these scriptures, they did have, they did exhibit radiance through their body. So they could be the bridge between the Mars and the planet Earth. So the Martians did not wear ornaments, and they did not need it. They were not needed ornaments, as their body was radiating. They did exhibit 24 chromosome pairs, but not in the liquid medium, but in the medium of light or energy. So this was evident from the sloka Sumeru Sringamadhyastha Sriman Nagaranayaka. So it was said in Sriman Nagaranayaka, it is a city that is surrounded by the boundaries of 24 walls or 24 corridors, and the city of wealth that is known as Sriman Nagara is surrounded by these 24 walls, and 24 walls is there that reflects the 24 chromosome pairs. And the city of wealth is essentially the corridor of our existence. And so they were exhibiting these 24 chromosome pairs through the medium of energy. So the divine forms that are being worshipped today in the form of Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Mahendra, and Shiva, etc., Ganesha, etc., they were having definite bodies in Mars world. So this was evident from Chintamani Gruhantastha Pancha Brahmasana Sthita, Pancha Brahmasana Sthita. So that is an indicative of the evolved souls that existed in Mars. So these the elevated soul status of this Martian community can also be inferred from this nama. Sudhasagar Majjasta Kamashri Kamadayini. So they were given absolute freedom to exercise their saturation of taste. So therefore not everything is so till now we have discussed about the proliferation or the extent of lifestyle of these Martians, and the positive impact they have had in marching forward their own and improving their lifestyle towards saturation. But not everything was rosy and cozy there. When there is a statistically speaking, if there is a large number, it is not possible to keep everything in order. So there is always a sign of disorder, and that did happen in Mars in the form of Bhandasura, the personification of lethargy and inertia, who misused the luxury of freedom and the choice towards saturation, or to say more precisely, even after reaching the saturation, the freedom provided was being misused. So this was evident from several slokas, starting from Devarshi Gana Sanghata Stuyamana Atma Vaibhava till Kameswarastra Nidagda Sabandasura Sunyaka. There are about 18 slokas in between these two. So that describes the the saga of Bhandasura, the demonic form of inertia um, that existed in Mars. So this was one of the epic battle that took place on planet Mars. So Devarshigana Sanghata. Sanghata essentially means terrorism, act of terror. So by the excessive inertia is equivalent to the act of terrorism, and that prevailed in planet Mars, and there was a epic battle that took place to terminate Bhandasura, the demonic form of inertia, which is causing an imbalance to the wheel of dharma, that is, the balance of forces of positive and negative were being disturbed due to the proliferation of the kingdom of demonic form of Bhandasura, the inertia. So as part of this epic battle, several weapons were invented, and Lord Ganesha was originated in human form. The 10 incarnations of the super soul were also originated. The Manmadhar, Cupid of love, had a physical form. The techniques of bringing life force back into the dead bodies were practiced. This also known as Mruta Sanjeevani Vidya. These were all practiced by Martians. So this is evident from Haranetra Agni Sandagda Kama Sanjeevana Aushadhihi. Majority of Martians practiced family professions. This was evident from Kula Amruta Ikarasika Kula Sankeda Parini. So there was the Martians went through genetic evolution. So that indicates the time scale. Normally genetic evolution takes a long time to materialize. So that means the life did exist there for a long time. So this genetic, the three Gandhis or knots that existed in our body, known as Brahma Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi and Rudra Grandhi, were formed as part of the genetic evolution of the Martians. So this was evident from Mooladhara Ekanilaya, Brahma Grandhi Vibhedini, Manipuranta Vishnu Grandhi Vibhedini, Agna Chakrantaralasta, Rudra Grandhi Vibhedini. So these Grandhis were formed in Mars, in community of the Mars. So the majority of the Martians, the Martian community worshipped and practiced the Kundalini energy known as Mahashakti. So this is evident from Mahashakti Kundalini Bisatantu Taniyasi. Martians were well trained in the non-duality effects. That means the window of operation or window of karmacharana. They are well versed with this finding the window of karmacharana, so that it cannot be a failure. So they have this techniques of optimizing the karmacharana, the act of karmacharana, focusing at the center of the window so that it will not fail. So this is this training. They have received this training through the slokas of the non-duality, that is 56 namas or 56 energy entities, starting from Niradhara till Niratyaya in Lalitha Sahasranamam. So many of this Martian population, they have attained enlightenment. They have risen to the state of the Guru, practiced 45 different Vasikarana Vidyas, got saturated in at least 9 different or 10 different yogams, such as Kula Yoga, Samsara Yoga, Vidya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Aishwarya Yoga, Tula Yoga, Kriya Yoga, Sunya Yoga, Grandhi Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, and Graha Yoga. There were at least 7 crore enlightened population lived in Mars. There were at least minimum of 11 generations of human inhabitants in Mars. This was covered by Lalitha Sahasranamam. The 2 of the most significant rituals or yagas were performed in Mars, namely the Nirishwara Yaga and Mahayaga performed by the Mahayogi. The wheel of Dharma means changing in time and space. So the wheel of Dharma was established at least on 5 occasions in Mars planet. That means the imbalances in Dharma were being corrected at least 5 times, 5 occasions in Mars. So this was evident from Lalita Sahasranama. So immediately after Chidagni Kunda Sambhuta, that means resetting of the faculties, there was the establishment of the Dharma. Immediately after the termination of the Bhandasura, the demonic inertial form, the Dharma was established. The practicing of the family professions through Kulamrita Rasika Kula Sanketa Palini, the Dharma was established. Similarly, Bhavani, Bhavanagamya, Bhavaranya, Kutarika, the practicing of the Samsara Yoga, Dharma was established. Sankari, Srikari, Sadhvi, Saraschandra Nibhasana. Here Saraschandra Nibhasana meaning the fruit of the rainfall getting equally distributed, so indicative of establishment of the Dharma. So and also after the performance of the Nirishwara Yaga, Dharma was established. So at least at least 5 different occasions the imbalances creeped into this wheel of Dharma, and they had to be corrected through these corrective mechanisms. So these are the various events that unfolded in Mars, and so finally the world of Mars had to terminate with the passing away of Mahayogi, who has risen from a simple state to the Guru to he has acquired the state of Mahayogi, beyond the senses, beyond the east, west, northwest, north, south forces, and also beyond the planets. He has risen to the state of being beyond the planets, so he could virtually control the entire universe. So there was such Mahayogi existed in Mars. So the Big Bang is essentially the super alignment of all the living beings in Mars aligning to this Mahayogi. So when all the magnets get aligned to a big magnet, the force is it becomes too strong, and that's exactly what happened. So this alignment of all the souls with Mahayogi, who himself is having lot more is having all the planets within him, the powers of all the planets within him. So when this alignment happened, so it has triggered what is known as a magnetic storm, and an intense magnetic radiation prevailed, causing a total blackout in the whole universe, and that is the Big Bang, and that's how the world in Mars was ended. So this provides a very interesting piece of evidence from Lalitha Sahasranama. So now we have to return back to some of the questions that we posed right in the beginning. Was there life existed in Mars? As per the ancient scripture of Lalitha Sahasranama, there is a clear evidence that life did exist in Mars, and it talks at least 11 generations of human habitation in Mars. The recent finding of the Mars probe launched by NASA does find that there are indications that life did existed in Mars, as the NASA probe has unearthed some tools that were used by the humans. So that means there is a definite evidence that life did exist in Mars. Are there any more evidences that we can draw? We'll try to discuss that. So was the Big Bang coincided with Mars and simultaneous formation of the Earth? So the Big Bang coincided with Mars world as a result of the magnetic storm, but the formation of the Earth itself did not happen simultaneously, immediately. So there was a transit time. This was evident from Lalitha Sahasranama, as 232nd is end of world in Mars, and 240th Namam, or the energy, is formation of the Earth. So there was a gap. There is a transit. And so why did this Big Bang happen? Why did the Mars world got terminated? It's an effect of supersaturation, effect of absolute alignment of all the forces in Mars, all the living beings in Mars, aligning to one big force known as Mahayogi. So when this happens, there is a magnetic storm that it has triggered a magnetic storm from Jupiter, and that's how the world got terminated. And this is exactly what is known as Big Bang. So was there a shadow effect on Mars, on Earth? So it was said that the planet Mars was inhabited by very evolved souls who had reached state of saturation. So it was said that the ancient scriptures of Ramayana, Bharata, did have individuals who were radiant, just like the human inhabitants in Mars, who were also radiant. So there was a connection between Mars and Earth. The divine forms that are worshipped on planet Earth, like Shiva, Vishnu, Ganesha, etc., they were having human bodies in Mars, and now they are limited themselves to a bodiless kind of a statue form, or an earthly form. So they've transformed themselves into earthly form on planet Earth. The not only that, the 10 incarnations of the super soul, known as the Dashavatara, had origin in planet Mars. The person who orchestrated the Nirishwara Yaga, that is Bhrigu saint, he had connection with planet Earth. The descendants of Bhrigu, known as Bhargavas, several of them took birth on planet Earth. These are Ruchika saint, the Chavana saint, Jamadagni saint, Parshurama. Even Valmiki belong to this this sect, and Markandeya, etc. They were all part of this Bhargava family. The origin of the Bhargava family is the Bhrigu. Bhrigu was a human inhabitant in Mars who orchestrated the Nirishwara to establish the Dharma, wheel of Dharma. Referring to the same Nirishwara Yaga, Sati Devi, the consort of Lord Shiva or wife of Lord Shiva, performed a astonishing act of self-immolation as a protest to this Nirishwara Yaga. This event happened in Mars, and many people believed that this event had happened on Earth. But as per Lalitha Sahasranamam, the event of Nirishwara happened in Mars because it is the energy that is the Nama was covered in Lalitha Sahasranamam between first and 232nd Nama. So it is a happening of Mars world. So Sati Devi performed the act of self-immolation, and subsequently, as per our scriptures, the body of Sati Devi was cut into pieces, and these pieces have landed on planet Earth, known as Shaktipitas. There are about 108 or even more, but 18 of them are very powerful Shaktipitas. So it is possible that the body of Sati Devi, who performed the act of self-immolation, was disintegrated because of the magnetic storm, and through the space, just like the meteorites travel in space, they would have traveled. Once the formation of Earth happened, they would have landed onto the planet Earth, and all of them have landed onto the Indian soil. The reason for that is very simple, that once after the formation of the Earth, the critical mass of Earth got surfaced only in Indian subcontinent. Therefore, civilization prospered only in Indian subcontinent. The early civilization prospered in Indian subcontinent because it was closer to the equator. That's the only reason. There is no other spiritual significance to this. The proliferation of the human civilization in Indian subcontinent. So all this points to the connection between Mars and Earth, and it's an indicative that Mars is a mirror image of Earth. Earth is a mirror image of Mars. So there's still a lot more to cover, obviously, on this fascinating story of Mars, and was there life existed on Mars, and how did this end, and etc. There's still a lot more hidden secrets about our ancestors in Lalitha Sahasranamam, but at this point in time I'm going to stop, and I invite all the listeners to pose questions, more questions, and we got to know, we have the right to know about our ancestors. So please post your comments or criticisms or questions to this episode, special episode, under the banner of Cosmic Dynamics. Thank you. Have a good day.